Welcome to the next episode, everybody. We're going to replace the U-joint bellow. This one's made by GLM. Pretty good quality. I've been looking at it, and I'm definitely glad I went with that brand. Here's the part number on the box so you can all see it. GLM 89200 U-joint bellow. Now, it's pretty new. Not something's been sitting around, so based on that date stamp that's on it. But take a look here. We got Bellows adhesive. Pretty much a one and done kind of part you're going to need to get. It's basically adhesive to put around this location here, and it makes for a better seal. All right, Bellows adhesive. Next thing we're going to need is something that will remove that worm clamp on the back. I got a 5/16 on a socket and a really long extension. The goal is to go from the back here and basically be able to loosen this worm clamp. So you're going to need that. Next thing we're going to need is in here, the exhaust bellow. There's basically a little clip that we need to remove. Once we get this U-joint bellow loosened, you can't remove it from the top up here. It just won't work, and there's no other way to remove it other than getting this thing out of the way here. So let's go ahead and start that process. I'm just going to go ahead and see if we can grab this. Next thing we want to do here, we can rotate this up a little bit, and we want to stick our flathead in here and kind of loosen it. It should come out pretty easily. Let me see if I can just put my hand in there, or go from the bottom now. Okay, bam. It is in pretty bad shape here, but we want to get this out of the way first before we can get to that U-joint bellow, and you can see it's already ripping. So yeah, let's just pull this out. Take a look at this thing. There's stuff falling all over the place. Wow, take a look at it, and it just completely ripped. It has seen better days. Now, the new modern ones, you can see here, this one's got a whole perforation on it. It's basically to allow the water to drain out of it. The newer design actually is a little bit different, you can see. And I don't think it necessarily matters per se, but you really don't want to allow water to sit in any of these bellows for long periods of time. So that's why they put these little drains. I'll show you with the new one here in a little bit, how that one's different, but yeah, this one is completely toast. That is the exhaust worm clamp. We're gonna need to remove that one. And then in the background, you can see the other one. There's kind of a shift cable. See if I can get it to focus. Back there, it's right there. We need to get that one loosened up as well. And we'll pull it off, and that will loosen the bellow for the U-joint. But as we were talking about earlier, the first one you want to get is this one removed. And you can see it's already pretty loose. I was turning it off camera. Let's see if I can get it completely off now. And we're not going to be reusing it, so I should be able to get it off pretty quickly here. Bam. I'm going to go ahead and finish removing the U-joint bellow, and we should be good from there. So let's get started on it. Go ahead and start working this bellow off here. Be careful with whatever tool you use that you don't mar up this surface. Now you can see it's kind of already opened up a little bit right there, so it's gonna make it easy. Just push that side, same thing over here. See if we can push it in. Voila. Okay. You notice, like I said, there's not much, I don't think there's any bellow adhesive on it. And let's take a look at it here. Tons of cracks. Look at this guy right there. This is definitely showing its age. You can see the cracks all the way around. That's pretty much it in terms of removing it for an OMC or Volvo Penta. It's not too crazy of a process. Just take your time. All right, let's grab the worm clamp for it. Like such. And then keep in mind, when you put this in, this worm clamp needs to be facing down. So as you see me hold it, I'm going to be keeping that in place. All right, and then let's go ahead and work this upwards. There's also a sensor in there to tell you, it's over here, if you can see it on camera, right about there where I'm pushing with my finger. That tells the gauge in the dash if it's up or not, the stern drive. So definitely be careful not to break that. All right, let's see if we can work this upwards here. Turn it sideways. All right. Got around that sensor. And I can see it already touching the sensor. Let's move the camera in a little bit closer for you all. Maybe get a better view. Okay, here we go. Okay, trying to work around that sensor again. And go inward and up. Looks good so far. Okay. Looks like we're getting there. Okay. Only thing we got to do now is see if we can get to it from the top. All right, so we're pretty much there. What I'm gonna do now is work and try to get that grounding clamp kind of towards the back here, get that in place. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is for the exhaust side here, we're gonna loosen up this worm clamp. And then obviously it's gonna be installed like this, right? So you want this worm clamp facing down. And then also, you see the little cuts in here? That needs to be facing down as well. So we'll see if we can open her up here. There we go. Okay, so take a look there. You see how I got the grounding strap around the worm clamp that holds the exhaust? Very important. And also, while you're on this side, you want to look up at the U-joint bellow ground strap as well and make sure that that one is also attached. If you look up there, it's kind of hard to see because it's a little dark. See if I can move it over a little bit. You can see that one's attached. So definitely don't forget, if you're running your OMC or Volvo Penta in saltwater, you'll find out real quick if you don't have that grounding strap. I've got both worm clamps tightened down and I have the grounding strap on both U-joint bellow and exhaust bellow. Definitely want to make sure you got some gloves during this part because this stuff is very, very viscous. And it seems to kind of get all over the place. So put little mounts here. It says on the package to put it on both sides. Only problem with that I see is it seems like this stuff likes to dry pretty quick. So you do have to move pretty fast. And I don't know that you can install the bellows as you saw during this video and get this in place before it dries. I just don't think that's possible. All right, and I'm gonna use a good amount in here. Make sure we get a pretty good seal. I feel pretty confident there. So let's go ahead now. And I'll put this up here so we don't lose it. And let's start working this bellow in here. Definitely pretty sticky, so if you're not using gloves, you're gonna wish you did really quick. All right, just kind of working my way around here. All right, let's switch hands. My hands are completely coated with this bellow adhesive, so it's for sure gonna make a mess. All right. Almost done here. Just got that last little part to do. There we go. All right, and you can see in here, it is for sure kind of lopsided. So we're gonna pull that forward here and see if we can get it to adhere a little bit better. Looks pretty good. Where are my gloves stuck in there? All right, so I'm gonna take and put a little bit right there because it looks like it's wanting to pop up a little bit. Stuff is definitely pretty challenging to use. My gloves are already kind of soaking it up and getting very sticky. I'm not gonna lie, next time I have to replace this bellow, I could tell you it's gonna be pretty challenging. So I got some Gooby Gone stuff right here, just to kind of help clean it up a little bit. So I noticed it kind of made a big mess in here. It works pretty good. Just gonna clean it up. It looks like all the surfaces in there adhered pretty well, and it's good and dry. Feel pretty good about that. Looked all the way around. You can see, seems pretty good. Just kind of messy. This bellow adhesive is crazy. I don't see any other way to do it. And it does, you know, it does tack up pretty quick. So yeah, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and finish this last bellow up here. Now, if you notice this area, it uses one of these little guys, and that's what creates the seal surface. Whereas with the U-joint bellow above, that one requires the bellow adhesive, so there won't be any bellow adhesive needed on this one. Looks like I got the bottom in, I just need to get the top. Yeah, not too bad. A little bit of effort, but we got it. There we go. Take a look at the top. Looks like it's pretty close. Let me see if I can rotate it around to get that top a little bit better. I think we're pretty close. I maybe I'll actually just push it in. I think that's actually it. And that's pretty much it. So once you get this exhaust in place, you're pretty much done at that point. Mission complete. So again, with this project here, move the camera over. I saw another video, I know it's kind of dirty working on repainting all this, but I saw another video where somebody took this entire piece off to get to the bellow, and it happens to be one of the most popular bellow replacement videos out there on YouTube. So you saw with this one, we definitely did not have to do that, and probably saved a lot of time by not having to do that. So that's pretty much it. We got the exhaust bellow replaced, tightened down, all the ground straps in place. We've got the U-joint bellow in place. The U-joint adhesive is, yeah, it's in good shape. No issues there. Kind of messy, but I think overall it's going to do the trick. So that's pretty much it. We're ready to go at this point. We're going to call the video good. If you got any questions, concerns, leave some comments in the comments field below. But that is full bellow replacement up and down. So we'll catch you on the next episode, everybody. Take it easy and happy boating.